What is going on, guys? How y'all doing again tonight? This is the Club of the Man 1993. Fresh, clean, and ready for the first time in 2 months. I'm actually going to not recap, review Monday Night Raw. I actually did sit down and actually watch Raw this past Monday night. I at times felt like I wasted my time with it, but there were times where I read back the results preparing for this review, and I'm thinking, I can't complain about this. I can't complain about this. There was a lot of fresh things that happened on this show. I mean, it was mainly a Money in the Bank qualifying match show, as we have 3 of the men participants official, with a second chance triple threat match next week, and we have all 4 of the women selected for that triple threat match, for that ladder match as well. We had 2 championship matches also made official for Money in the Bank on this show as well. So, reading the results, I can't say it was a horrible episode of Raw. Even though at times I felt like I wasted my time with it, I look at it and I'm like, okay, this is bad, but there's a direction to it. This is bad, but it was a reason behind it. So, I didn't love this episode, but I can look at it and say, that there was some fresh things. Some things that were like, okay, I'll take this, that came out of this episode of Raw. So, again, as far as me actually giving Raw a grade and reviewing Raw for the first time instead of actually just recapping, actually reviewing it, I'll say there is a little bit to talk about. But of course, I'm going to, go through it and keep it quality, but also just, not spend too long because somebody's got to work overtime tomorrow still. Well, it doesn't have to, but I choose to, but, it is whatever. So, let's talk about Raw and actually review it, not just fly through the results. Let me see here. We got JR saying he needs Seth Rollins to be a babyface again. Burn Roman Reigns down. Babyface Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Binocular do John Cena versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. No offense, Seth Rollins should not be a babyface again after what he did. As babyface champion, but again, that's your opinion though. Lauren thinks this was the best Raw 2021, and there was at least no more rematches. She also gave it a C+. And also, what did Vince do to Nikki Cross? We'll talk about Nikki Cross when we get to that. Do you think Orton will turn on Riddle next week? I have no idea. Money in the Bank predictions. Not going to worry about that tonight. Worry about that another night. I don't have the time to. Shot Hell in a Cell was terrible, and apparently the superhero gimmick was Nikki's idea. I did hear that too. The main event sucked. The Royal Pins need to stop. Best match is Riddle and Drew. Who do you think will win the triple threat match next week? Worry about that then. Any SummerSlam predictions? Again, not going to worry about that in this video. Again, I'm sorry guys. I would love to answer those questions, but like I said, I just don't have the time right now to think all that out right now. Piper will turn on Eva soon. We'll talk about that also. Are you going to live events soon? Well, there's one here, a Saturday live event on July 24th. I'm not able to go to that, though. I'm going to a wedding that day, so I cannot go to that. And then AEW Dynamite's coming here on August 11th, but I do plan on going to that. So that'll be my first live wrestling event in quite a while. Um, so yeah, let's start talking about Raw. Because like I said, I'm on a time crunch. I want to take care of one or two things before I go to bed. So I want to review Raw, but I want to actually talk about it and not just recap it. So let's talk about it. The show opens up with Bobby Lashley and his entourage and MVP talking about how Lashley beat McIntyre. And MVP looks around the lounge and sees two alpha males, 5 beautiful women, and a bottle of champagne. And that makes for a hell of a party. And then he goes to offer a toast when New Day comes out with actual toast. Not just, just toasting with champagne, actual bread. They want to join in. They threw the toast into the ring. By throwing the toast to the ring. But MVP says this clown nonsense is exactly why Hell in a Cell, why they were watching Hell in a Cell, not main eventing like Bobby Lashley. Once they go back to live crowds, they're still going to be cosplaying and playing video games while he and Lashley are enjoying the finer things, as he says. But then Kofi's like, nope, we're not going anywhere. It's well documented that he surrounds himself with his friends and family rather than users that will chew you up and spit you out. He's got a question for Lashley, though. Will MVP and his lady friends be coming around after he beats him for the title? And Lashley's like, what the heck are you talking about? He says, I'm never losing the title. There's someone too busy dancing and making pancakes to realize that he lost the title. Basically going back to the fact that, he lost the title to Brock Lesnar and then just, act like it was no big deal. And there was some truth behind that because, there was some truth behind that because, think about it. Again, Kofi lost the title, but it's like, well, I had a good run, that's all. And now they've been thrown back at him, like, yeah, you ain't taking that seriously. And then there's a hierarchy in the world, and Bobby is on top while New Day are way down at the bottom, as far as where they stand. Kofi reminds him that he beat Daniel Bryan to win the title at WrestleMania. And just last month, he happened to beat Bobby Lashley as well in the ring. Kofi played the footage of him rolling him up for a victory. So Kofi challenges him to a rematch at Money in the Bank. And Lashley, at first MVP was like, screw you. Lashley's like, I accept. But then he says, but on one condition. I want a match with Xavier Woods tonight. And Woods calls him a toxic testosterone meathead and admits that everybody thinks he's the weak link in the New Day, but he's got his accolades too. He's most importantly being an 11-time tag team champion. And one more thing, he wants their match to be inside Hell in a Cell tonight. As far as the match being inside Hell in a Cell, kind of pointless. I guess USA Network threw a fit about Fox getting a Hell in a Cell match on Friday, so they had to do one here, even though it was not the greatest group. But okay, Roman and Ray, even though it was like a 1-week build, I was fine with them doing Hell in a Cell on an episode of SmackDown. But you're doing Bobby Lashley and Xavier Woods. That's really where you get the idea that Hell in a Cell has really lost its value, because again, Hell in a Cell is meant to be Hell in a Cell is meant to be done for feuds that tell the story for Hell in a Cell, that feel Hell in a Cell. So wait, hang on. And Bobby Lashley and Xavier Woods, nowhere close, ever touch must-see Hell in a Cell. But I do like the stuff with him and Kofi. Again, that more serious side of Kofi. Basically, being told, what he really is. And it's true. He's like, yeah, maybe, but I could be serious too. And I had enough of people thinking I'm just some, booty shaking, pancake thrower. And I'm getting serious, and I'm going to tear shit up and show that I still belong in that main event spot. and that my championship reign and match was not a fluke. So I'm interested in this match, and the match made official. Probably, I'm hoping it be the main event of Money in the Bank. It should be. I don't know what Roman's gonna do for Money in the Bank yet, but yeah, I like that match. Kofi Kingston and Bobby Lashley, world title, Money in the Bank. Sign me up. He has a reason to have the match. So that's a match I look forward to. As a story, I also am going to be intrigued by as well. Hopefully it goes something. I mean, the only thing is, here's the thing though. I think the reason why, because even though I, am saying now that there was some good things that came out of this episode of Raw, but I still, at times felt like it was a waste of time. It's because I just don't believe that WWE is actually going to capitalize on these good things. That's the problem. Like, they gotta show that there's more of a long-term story for Kofi Kingston, besides him, just getting this title shot as like a filler feud for Bobby Lashley. This feud does not need to be treated like a filler feud. It actually could be some really, really good stuff. Excuse me, if booked right. So again, I'm interested in this Kofi and Lashley match. We'll see how that one goes. We see backstage footage of AJ Styles running to the Viking Raiders, and AJ calls them zeros for a change his mind, telling them they're nothing. Ivar said last week they set out to raid and come out with a phenomenal victory. Styles called it sloppy luck and says if they want a real raid, they'll watch him beat Ricochet to a pulp tonight. But then we have Ricochet and AJ Styles have a match, and they always seem to put on good matches. I unfortunately feel like I've never seen them put on. I feel like they always felt they could do better together, especially when they feuded in 2019 for the U.S. title. I really felt that they could have put on like a classic, and I just feel like they didn't really go out as, they didn't really have as good of a match as I hope. I mean, they were good, but it's like I expected like a 5-star match out of them. And I don't know if that's because, they've watered down Ricochet, or because, AJ Styles, he's getting older, and, yes, he's still awesome, but he's not, but he's definitely, he's wearing down for sure. But, they still put on good matches. And, shocker, Ricochet won. Ricochet won because, of course, there was a little bit of distraction there as Omos was outside the ring, taking out, battling the Viking Raiders, as they took them out. And then it looked like Styles was about to win as he set for a phenomenal forearm, but off the phenomenal forearm, Ricochet actually avoided it and countered with a recoil. And to my surprise, Ricochet won. And he is the first to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. I mean, I thought that, okay, it's just a random winner. But again, the rest of the names they threw in there, I'm like, very fresh indeed. Like, these are some very fresh names that I didn't think they would give, this chance to. So, good start for the ladder match. So I mean, I hope maybe this will be an opportunity for Ricochet to kind of get back on track. I doubt it though, because I know Vince sees nothing in him. But again, the opportunity, do the best you can do. And again, maybe he'll get back on track or something. So Ricochet in the ladder match, sign me up. Definitely stunned by that victory. We have a segment backstage with Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, RK Bro. Matt Riddle's talking about how cool it would be if they both qualify for the ladder match, and they're going to hide his stash in a briefcase if he wins, of Whoppers. He doesn't trust the Burger King, you see. Orton snaps and asks, what has he won? Riddle says he knows Randy won Money in the Bank before, maybe he has some pointers. Orton sighs and tells Matt to stay out of his way. Obviously, they may be a team wet right now, but Orton, when it comes to the title, Orton has no friends. Like I said all this time, Randy Orton in general doesn't really have friends, especially as a babyface. But he tells Matt to stay out of his way. Riddle points out that it'll be hard if they both win their qualifiers, but Randy stares at him until he finishes and says it won't be awesome for Matt, basically. Then we have this backstage interview with Eva Marie and her mystery friend, which we all know is obviously Piper Niven. They're being interviewed backstage. Eva says it's been 5 years she stepped in the ring, so everything had to be perfect. She went and got a mani and pedi, and unfortunately caught a cold. But she knew the universe was dying to see her, so she arranged for her protege, who she's about to introduce herself, and you could hear the microphone that she's about to say Piper Niven. But instead, Eva cuts her off and says her name is Dewdrop. Heard the rumors, and they went with it. Piper Niven is officially Dewdrop on Raw. Not Piper Niven, Dewdrop. What I liked, though, was... let's get to the actual match. They were already showing signs that, again, Piper Niven wanted to acknowledge herself as Piper Niven. They're already, they're, to me, as of now, I don't get my hopes up, are not completely throwing away Piper Niven's name. But they already are starting to kind of acknowledge that, obviously Piper does not approve of what Eva Marie is, using her for, basically. But they have a qualifying match. The women had tag matches to determine the qualifiers. Basically, the winning team gets added to the Money in the Bank ladder match. And the first one was Asuka and Naomi taking on Eva Marie and Piper Niven, or, of course, Dewdrop. I gotta say the name, Dewdrop, and I hate it because it's obviously Vince just laughing for no reason, just having himself, laugh. But Eva Marie, basically only won in the match, of course, as we expected to, whenever, she can get a pinfall victory. If not, she wanted Dewdrop in the ring. Dewdrop, of course, I'm not calling her Dewdrop. Piper Niven did not want to get in the ring. She backed off and walked out on Eva Marie, costing them the match. Naomi and Asuka are the first two to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I was kind of hoping that Eva Marie and Piper Niven would have gone into the match, and then maybe tease the tension there. I mean, yeah, I would have liked to see maybe Piper Niven win, but Eva Marie try to take the credit. But when it comes time, Piper Niven steals the opportunity or something. I don't know. They could have done something with that, but the fact that they lost and they're already teasing Piper turning on Eva, I'm like, okay, if we're already going to do this now, then what was the point of this in the first place? Because it instantly makes Piper Niven look like, she already regrets this. I'd rather have some type of story where it kind of drags out a little bit more, which is why, even though who likes Eva Marie, she obviously can't wrestle, but I'm a big fan of Piper Niven. I don't approve of the name Dewdrop, but to me, I feel, after seeing this, it looks like there is hope that, Piper Niven will get her name back, and Dewdrop is just because, it's whatever Eva Marie wants to call her. So, even though, of course, I'm always for give Naomi a chance and, Asuka get an opportunity, but she's definitely not my pick to win the Money in the Bank this year. Because, yes, Asuka, did great last year being Raw when Shayna Becky is gone, but, it's her time's passed, it's time to, move on to, someone else. And Naomi, of course, it would be nice if she won it, but I don't think they're going to give it to Naomi. I don't think so. But I would have honestly liked to have seen Piper and Eva get in the match. That way, Piper Niven could have gotten a rub on it, and like I said, she could have the briefcase, but Eva Marie could claim it's hers. So when the time comes to cash in, though, maybe that's when Piper would turn on Eva, and she takes the victory instead, or something like that. I don't know. So that's just my thoughts on it. I mean, again, I hate the name, but again, there could be something good out of this, but like I said, the theme here of this show is, yes, there was good decisions made, but again, I don't trust WWE to capitalize on the good decisions they made on the show. And that's why I'm kind of giving it a lower grade. Then we have the segment in the ring with Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce bringing Rhea Ripley down and says, you disqualified yourself from the match intentionally. Rhea says she's seen Charlotte abuse the same rules over and over, and she only did what she had to done to her if roles were reversed. Give her a taste of her own medicine, which to me still doesn't cover up the fact that she came across like a freaking chicken shit heel. Charlotte comes out and says last night Rhea proved to her that she's smart and she's actually quite clever. She proved herself to be a strategic competitor like she is, but she's still going to destroy her. And just because of that, Sonya Deville grants her a rematch at Money in the Bank. Once again, like I said in my Hell in a Cell review, how on earth is that making Charlotte Flair a freaking babyface? I already ranted about this, like I said. They're going to try to make Charlotte the face and Rhea the heel, and again, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But again, I will say, though, make that match at Money in the Bank last woman standing. That way there's no BS. There's no BS. No BS, and no disqualification finishes. So, yeah, I'd say, go for that. Again, if as long as there's no stupid finishes, then it could be a match of the year candidate. But we'll see. We had basically the same segment also from the other week where Natalya and Tamina doing a photo shoot, and then Dana and Mandy were training. They're like, stop training, blah, blah, blah. You're interrupting our photo shoot. And then they basically try to fight back, just like last week's segment, which is just all they can do for this. Then we had John Morrison take on Randy Orton, and then Miz is outside, in a wheelchair because he's hurt, and he caused a distraction. And Matt Riddle, of course, came out trying to, even up the odds, but it didn't work in his favor because John Morrison beat Randy Orton to be in Money in the Bank. And I was just like, oh, interesting. Like I said, I thought they would, knowing WWE from the past years, they would have put like an AJ Styles and a Randy Orton, like people, who've already, had plenty of opportunities in the match. But what it seems right now is there's going to be one of these veterans is going to be in the match, but they're getting some fresh faces in there, like, Ricochet, a John Morrison, who, right now has a great opportunity to shine as a single star since Miz is hurt. He has a great chance to shine as a single star and just let, him have his spotlight, which I like, make him not look like the dumbass of the duo with him and Miz. So, yeah, we already got Ricochet, John Morrison in there, and I'm just like, Morrison looked great in that triple threat ladder match at WrestleMania 36. Like, give him a shot again to shine. That could really give him some momentum going. So there's two fresh people in the match. Morrison wins. Then we have Nia and Shayna backstage with Reginald. They're being interviewed, and Nia says that Reggie knows I never meant to hurt him. But then Baszler mocks him before saying nobody in that locker room scares him, and nothing can stop them from qualifying in Money in the Bank. Yeah, right. Alexa. So first, Alexa Bliss makes the entrance because the next match is supposed to be Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler taking on a team of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. First off, let me start off by saying why on earth did they not even acknowledge the fact that Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross have a history? Used to be a tag team. Why all of a sudden, are they fine again? Why all of a sudden would Nikki Cross randomly trust Alexa Bliss as her tag team partner? seem very out of context. But let's talk about the elephant in the room that I know you're interested in me talking about. We have Nikki Cross in Gorilla wearing a superhero outfit. A blue superhero outfit with a lot of blue eyeshadow, and she talks about representing everyone no matter their shortcomings, basically, and then she makes her entrance. And then, again, ignoring the history of Alexa and Nikki completely, they win the match when Nikki Cross, for the millionth time, rolled up Shayna Baszler, who takes her like 5 millionth roll-up pinfall loss. So Alexa Bliss and superhero Nikki Cross are both in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. First off, after seeing, who qualifies so far, I'm just going to be real and say I think they're going to give the briefcase to Alexa. Obviously, they are obsessed with her character. That I said in my Hell in a Cell review that they're just taking way too far, because most of the stuff she's doing, she's not going to be able to get away with once and do realistically once the fans come back. That's why so much of her stuff looks so fake, because they know they can't pull this stuff off, a lot of this stuff off with actual fans, and they can't edit it out. But let's talk about Nikki Cross, though. Nikki Cross went from being Psycho Nikki Cross, the Twisted Sister, to kind of being, cooled down and Alexa Bliss's best friend, to some country girl style or something like that with that theme song. And now she's just a random ass superhero. Just being basically just anyone dressed up in a costume for the heck of it. Now, I was going to come up here and just rant about this and rip it apart, because I'm like, oh, this is probably a Vince idea, blah, blah, blah. No, apparently, rumors have it, people said in the live chat, I heard apparently Nikki Cross's real-life husband, Killian Dane, even advised this. This apparently was Nikki Cross's idea. And for what I'm hearing and what I'm starting to believe, this is Nikki Cross basically just thrown in the towel. Obviously, she knows Vince sees nothing in her. She knows she's looked at as a joke, as a jobber, as just like a filler spot, basically. She knows she's stuck. She knows that she's not going to get the opportunity. She's not going to get that great booking she got when she was, in NXT. Such as in 2017 into 2018, whatever, she really dug into her character. It was, again, she was awesome. I think even in 2018 or 17, 1 to 2 years, Nikki Cross was literally like my number 3 women's wrestler of the year because of the character she had. Again, remember the days of, you want to play? Play with Naki. Come on, play with Naki. I want to play. I know. Remember that Twisted Sister, Psycho Nikki Cross? Yeah. That's gone. Vince didn't like that. He just threw that out the window because he didn't even give Sanity a chance in general. And now everybody except for her and Killian Dane are gone. Killian Dane's in NXT being Drake Maverick's tag team partner, which I still do not approve of to this day. But, but again, this is Nikki Cross. This was her idea. Her embracing that, she knows she's nothing, and she's just going to do whatever she has to do to get on live TV at this point. So, I don't know what to say. She's probably going to get on TV if she continues to do weird crap like this. And we'll see where it goes. I doubt it's going anywhere, though. It's just weird, it's generic, and, all that BS. So, yeah, Alexa, Nikki win. Nikki Cross is now a superhero and it's going to be in a women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, I'm telling you right now, Alexa Bliss is winning. I don't see anybody from SmackDown winning it, unless if Becky Lynch is brought back, and it's Becky Lynch who wins it. I don't see anyone else but Alexa Bliss winning this. Backstage, you have Drew McIntyre warming up for his match, where Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville roll up. Ask him how he's doing. Deville says he doesn't have to do this, but he says he does. He's pretty sure they haven't approached Lashley and told him he could get out of Hell in a Cell, and his body is doing a lot better than his mind. He quotes Churchill's Never Surrender speech and says he's going to beat Matt Riddle tonight. Also, we have a segment with Jinder Mahal, Jeff Hardy, Cedric Alexander, and Sheamus all whining that they didn't get chances to be in the Money in the Bank qualifying matches. Deville tells them to relax. He understands frustration, but the matches are final, even though most of them were very random. I will be honest, even though I'm glad to see guys like, Ricochet and John Morrison get an opportunity, and Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle, some of these guys, okay, but how do they earn this shot? If Ricochet or John Morrison can get a shot, so could, Jeff Hardy or Cedric Alexander or any of those guys. They have valid reasons. But, they say it's final. But then, of course, Sheamus complains also because I should be automatically in there because I'm the U.S. champion, but Pierce just burns him and says, well, then go defend your title. He's like, never mind, I'm hurt, doesn't want to do it. Jinder asks Adam what happens if one of the entrants gets injured and asks to be considered as an alternate if they do. Which obviously got me buzzing about something else. Because the next match was Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre. And it was a pretty good match. And no distractions whatsoever. To my surprise, Matt Riddle beat Drew McIntyre clean with a roll-up victory. He beat Drew McIntyre clean, and he's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So far, it's Ricochet, John Morrison, and Matt Riddle. That's very new, very fresh. I like it. And then next, we were getting a triple threat qualifying match with AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton. Honestly, the best I think that I could pick out of that three that I'd like to see in the match, because I think he would work very well with the guys that are already in it, AJ Styles. Put AJ in there. He works well with Ricochet. I am intrigued to see what he can do with I've always, even though of course he's been booked like shit since coming back to WWE last year, I've always wanted to see him and Morrison have a one-on-one match. I mean, it won't be one-on-one, but they can have an encounter in the match. And of course, him and Matt Riddle have had a few matches on SmackDown before, so I actually kind of want to see AJ win that. I think so. AJ's going to win it. Randy Orton's going to get more jealous of Matt Riddle or something like that. I don't know. And I think what's going to happen, I think Jinder Mahal is going to cost Drew McIntyre the match next week. And we're going to get a Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal feud. Now, yes, I know I can't stand Jinder Mahal. We all know that story. But truth is, I understand if they did a feud with Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal because they do have history as 3MB. So, if they want to do just that Money in the Bank, I'm fine with it. Whatever. Just have Drew win. Don't have Jinder win. Just have Drew win. Move on from it. But like I said, I understand why it would happen if they did it. We have that. We have Jackson Riker cutting some promo backstage with Mansoor. I'm guessing Jackson Riker's a babyface, going to wait a little bit longer. But basically, they're having a match. Jackson Riker's having a strap match with Elias next week. I really don't care. Also, we have some things with Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. I guess they're going to tease a match between them soon also. And then we have the main event. Bobby Lashley and Xavier Woods inside Hell in a Cell. Like I said, it was basically a squash match inside Hell in a Cell. Like I said, these two, Xavier Woods, I mean, he wasn't in the Hell in a Cell match with New Day and the Usos. But unless it's like a tag team feud built for Hell in a Cell, yeah, Bobby Lashley and Xavier Woods definitely not worthy of Hell in a Cell. Just a squash match. Just a reason for them to have Hell in a Cell on both USA and Fox. Bobby Lashley wins. Afterwards, Lashley continues to attack Woods from inside the cage. The MVP slides in and locks the door, and then Kofi struggles to try to desperately, help Xavier Woods. And of course, that's, I think, to briefly write Xavier Woods off TV, and for Kofi Kingston to get into a more serious mindset, which works for me. But yeah, that was Raw. Again, like I said, there was good things that happened on the show. I'm intrigued by the fact that they had some fresh names like Matt Riddle, John Morrison, and Ricochet qualify for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm already a lot more excited for that than the women's one. Women, I'm not too thrilled about. Like I said, I'm not feeling, even though it was her idea, I'm not feeling, superhero Nikki Cross. And I'm pretty sure they're going to give Alexa Bliss the briefcase. And I'm not really too keen on that either. By interested, of course, in Bobby Lashley and Kofi Kingston. So, like I said, there was good things that happened on the show, but again, I don't trust WWE to move forward, the direction they should, in my opinion. So that's why I'm just giving the show a C+. C+, because, there was some interesting things, like I said. They gotta, do more than just this week's episode to prove to me that they're gonna do, better things. So yeah. That's my review. C+. Let's check the live chat. I think we were here. Did they announce dates for live crowds yet? Yes, coming back, the July 16th. So where's the Hurricane sister? Nikki Cross is a superhero. I guess she is basically, a female Hurricane, basically. Well, I'd love to see Lashley and Lesnar. So would I. AJ should not have lost his first match to be in the ladder match. I think he'll. I think he will get in that second chance match. And why do we have 4 Hell in a Cells? Who knows? This is not 2019 and 2021. Why is Kofi getting a title match? There's a story behind it. The rumor speculates they're speculating it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Big E for the Universal title at Money in the Bank. That's a big money match, but I'd still say hold off on it. Wait, again, I want it to be happen at a time where, it's possible, because Roman's not dropping that title until maybe SummerSlam if Cesaro wins Money in the Bank and cashes in. But I know Big E is also a good candidate to beat Roman, so since it's not going to happen yet, I'd still say maybe wait on that match. He did his Backlash review. Eva can't wrestle. It's going to be at headquarters like last year. It is? I don't know if it's really necessary this year since the crowds are going to be back. Are we in a feud between... I'm not sure what you're thinking there. They're going to have Alexa win Women's Money in the Bank. His 4 worst matches this year are Sunday's Bliss versus Baszler, the Zombie Lumberjack match, Orton versus Bray, and Reigns versus Owens at the Rumble. Other than that finish of that match, that was a great match. So definitely agree with 3 of them. Xavier was in Hell in a Cell in 2017. He was? That was Big E and Kofi for some reason. But and Anthony Manzano says hi. Hello. But yeah, that's gonna do it for my review. I'm gonna just get ready to go straight to bed because I was gonna do some editing on the wedding I'm editing right now, but I'll wait till tomorrow. I wasn't gonna do anything tomorrow anyways, but I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll also catch up on my NXT review tomorrow and the Turner coming out of NXT and Diamond Mine, whatever the heck it's called. So yeah, that's my review of Raw, guys. Again, actually reviewed it, didn't just recap it. I talked about it. We'll see what happens. Hoping this. I don't trust WWE, but hoping this could be a sign of better things to come. So yeah, guys, C+ for Raw. What are your thoughts on Raw from this week? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. If there's always a slap a like on the video and subscribe more content to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.